What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Another lukewarm detractor of Kevin Samuels decided to give his opinion of the passing of Kevin Samuels, and that was Mr. D.L. Hughley. Now, let me say I grew up on D.L. Hughley. I am a fan of his work. I remember him on Comic View as a teenager. He's from the great state of California. I love D.L. Hughley as a comedian and as an actor. But as a literal pundit for the left, he is, and many others, what I consider what is wrong with Black America right now. He is a stool pigeon for liberal policies. Okay? And he is an ass kisser for sisters. And I love black women to death. But that's what D.L. Hughley does. He caters to the left and to women. Those same women who are always demonizing, not all, but in a general, black men in the black family structure. But let me just get to this point because he had quite a few things to say about the passing of Mr. Samuels. I won't get into it right now. I think it is fair that I let you hear what he had to say, and then I'll respond to what he said. Play that clip.
That was Troop, Spread My Wings. So, of course, we were all greeted with the news of Kevin Samuels passing. And it's interesting because we had just the previous week on Wednesday, we had one of the DLQs we did was about the last statement that I was aware that he made. One of the things broadcast he performed was when he said that basically if you're 35 years old and you're not married, you are a leftover, which is indicative of the kind of things that he used to say. As a matter of fact, when I first heard of him, I was with my road manager. And he was listening to something he said, and it struck me as cruel and unnecessary. And subsequently, I've heard a lot of things that had come out that seemed to have that same tone. And so, when he died, I felt really bad because I thought, even in death, that some of the comments were just so vitriolic and so acrimonious. I thought that they didn't necessarily fit the crime. I thought that it was just unnecessarily cruel. The man had run his race. Everything was over. He wasn't a rapist or a murderer or a child molester or anything of that sort. But whatever he did, it stirred up these strong feelings of vitriol. So I was talking to a frat brother of mine, and I wanted to do something, to say something. So I was talking to him about, how I felt. And he was telling me that eulogy, the Latin word eulogy means to speak well of. Not to add, not to detract, but to speak well of. So with that in mind, I'd gone on social media to look at whatever I could to find something that was good to say. And I can say this, that mostly everything I saw in terms of his profile was always well-produced pictures and him wearing sunglasses and looking cool and well-dressed, but nothing personal. I remember I sent out a tweet and I said that R. Kelly would get warmer condolences than Kevin Samuels was getting, which I thought was out of line. I thought that, the punishment didn't necessarily fit the crime. And somebody on Twitter said, well, R. Kelly made people feel good too. He wasn't just what he did. So in death, what you have are two things: how people made you feel and how you remember them. And I think that Kevin Samuels was an amalgamation. His profile, his social media presence was designed to do one thing, and that was to forward an image. It seems like this is the one that he was comfortable with people having of him. And that seems sad to me. The way that we've learned of his death, it took 24 hours before anybody could confirm it. What that tells me is that either nobody cared or knew how to get in contact with somebody. It is a shame that happened. Cut your phone off for 24 hours and see how many calls you get. See how many people are checking for you. See if they're worried about you. And if that's not the case, I would submit that you're not living right. I would submit that you need to change something. Kevin Samuels was a human being. I think it's a shame when any human being dies. But all you left when somebody dies is what they left you, the memories. Either some are good or some are bad. But you have, in totality, the totality of the person. You get to say who they are. You get a broad, pretty broad picture. I'm this and I'm that. It seemed with Kevin, he wanted to be perceived as this thing. Now, I can't say that he was a bad man. I know he played one on social media. I can't say that he was a cruel man. I know he played one on social media. It was a shame when you go on, and Kevin Samuels, it took 24 hours, certainly a very long time, to confirm his death. And he didn't die on a foreign road.
So he said a lot there. I didn't want to play the whole thing because he was kind of talking all over the place. But he made some pretty decent points, and I'll get to that. He doesn't understand why Kevin got more hate than, let's say, somebody like R. Kelly, who his record in Black America, what he's done is crazy, right? You even have sisters who were out there marching for R. Kelly. Okay? He said he wasn't a molester or a killer or anything like that. But he made people feel some kind of way. And he said that he thought that it was acrimonious, some of the things he said. It was uncalled for. But D.L. Hughley never dealt with the fact that if he said, was it right? Was it true? Let's deal for some of you guys who have a big problem with a 35 and up thing. Let me deal with that right now. So DL, I tagged your name for a reason. If you're listening, let's talk about it. If you are a woman and you're 35 in America, in Black America, and let's say for an example, you are not exceptionally good looking. You are a woman that has kids. And if you are a woman who doesn't want to come down from your high standards that you had when you were 22 and possibly better looking, what are your results going to yield? Especially if you're looking for a guy who earns 6 figures, that guy don't have any kids, and that guy he lives in a great state like California, and you are competing against every other lady in the planet for this particular guy. Because you don't want the UPS workman. You don't want the guy that works at Amazon delivering stuff. You don't want the guy that works at Jiffy Lube. You want the tax attorney. You want the medical doctor. You want the big time rapper. You want the 6-figure earner. That's who you want. So DL Hughley, if you're over 35 and you're a lady that fits the description of many women in Black America that still have the high entitlement that they want to get, and they're competing against 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds, Latina, Asian, what's going to happen to them? I'll tell you what's going to happen to them. They'll be listening to people like you or going to the Black church every Sunday, praying for God to send them a man. And what ends up happening? They don't get it. But what he says is cruel and insensitive? Yeah, it's insensitive, maybe, but is it true? Is it true? And then you talked about, well, I looked through his social media profiles, and he played a bad guy on the internet. Really? You see, this is what you liberals do. You Joe Biden supporters do. You guys in Black America who have really ruined it to the core because you've been bought out. Anytime somebody holds our community accountable to who we are, they put the mirror up to our face. Black men, it's okay. I can guarantee you D.L. Hughley can hold black men accountable all day. And I love it when he does it. Trust me. Because we need that. But God forbid you hold that mirror to women's faces. That guy's a bad guy now. Because anything that puts Black women as a messianic figure in the Black America, one that can do no wrong, we'll go with that. And the answer is that it's not true. Black women make mistakes just like we do. And if the community is to get better, you have to be held accountable to that. But D.L. Hughley is too busy pushing the left agenda of what is destroying black folks. Kowtowing, ass kissing. And that's why you can't get nothing better going on here. And it's sickening. And it makes no sense. And that's not being a man. In this particular instance. When you have all these black men leaving black America, dealing with women of other races, it's increasing at least. Nobody wants to even deal in black America no more. Well, what is the problem? You don't know what the problem is, DL? You talked about it in the video. For whatever reason. No, it's a reason. You know about it because you see it. You just don't want to talk about it. Every black man in America understands what Kevin Samuels is talking about. Everyone. Everyone's dealt with the entitlement. Everyone's dealt with the embarrassment to certain degrees. The inequality in the dating world. We've all dealt with it. So, bro, who are you really for, bro? Like, don't sit here and lie. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I already appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. Check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at all-time high. I'm out.